The functions f and g are defined as follows. We have this function f, and the outputs of this function f is the following. It's going to be the smallest prime number that is greater than x. So the outputs of this function is defined in the following way. The smallest prime number that is greater than x. And we have the function g, and that's x plus 1 all over 3. And so we have f of 20. And so what this is basically telling us that the answer to f of 20 is going to be the smallest prime number that is greater than x. What is x? X is 20. So it's going to be the smallest prime number that is greater than 20. All right. So we have defined what is the smallest prime number that is greater than 20. And so that's what this function, that's going to be the answer to this question. All right. F of 20. So f of 20 basically is saying, okay, I want you to find the smallest prime number that is greater than 20, and that would be the answer to f of 20, okay? So here we have our prime numbers. And remember, we have defined the smallest prime number that is greater than 20. And so these are some prime numbers. We have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, right? And 23, so we have 19 and 23. 19 is smaller than 20, so that's not gonna be right. 23, right? 23. This right here is the smallest prime number that is greater than 20. So f of 20 is equal to 23. And that's the answer to this question. Next, we have g of 20. Now, g of 20, what does that mean? That just means that wherever you see x in this function, you're just going to put 20. So wherever you see x, you replace that with 20. So this is going to be 20 plus 1 all over 3. And 20 plus 1 is 21. So we have 21 divided by 3. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. So g of 20 is 7. Next, we need to figure out fg of 17. Fg of 17. So this right here is this is a combination of two functions. And so basically what we actually have is we have a function within a function. So we have this function f on the outside, which is the parent function. And on the inside, we have the baby function, which is the g function. And so basically, what we have to do is we have to figure out, okay, what is g of 17, right? And when we figure out what is g of 17, we put that answer within the function f, and that'll give us the result, all right? So that's basically the idea. It's a function within a function. And so let's figure out what is g of 17. We know that g of x is x plus 1 over 3. Let me erase this. So erase our link. We know that g of x is x plus 1 over 3. That's what g of x is. That's how the function is defined. G of x is equal to x plus 1 over 3. So wherever we see 17, wherever we see x, we're gonna put 17 because that's what x is, 17. So you have 17 plus 1 all over 3. And 17 plus 1 is 18. So we have 18 over 3. And 18 divided by 3 is definitely 6. So g of 17 is 6. And so what that means is that f g of 17, we know that g of 17 is 6. So we're just going to put g of 17, which is 6, within the function f. And so, like we said, f g of 17 can be written as the baby function within the parent function. Now this result, g of 17, this g of 17 actually is equal to 6 because we just figured that out, all right? So g of 17 actually equals to 6. So that means that inside of the function f, we actually have 6. But what is f of 6, right? F of 6 just basically is asking us the question, what is the smallest prime number that is greater than 6, all right? What is the smallest prime number that is greater than 6? So we have 2, 3, 5, all of them are less than 6. But 7 is the greatest prime number. But 7 is the smallest prime number that is greater than 6. Okay, and so 7 is going to be our answer. So f of 6 is equal to 7. So that means that f g of 17 is equal to 7. So the answer is 7 here. Next, we have to find the inverse of g. Now, we know that the function g is defined as x plus 1 over 3. We're going to set g of x equal to y. So this is going to be y is equal to x plus 1 over 3. So the first thing that we do, we set g of x equal to y. And the next step we do is that we switch x and y. So we put x on this side and y on this side. And then now we're gonna solve for y. And so we put x over 1 is equal to y plus 1 over 3. We cross multiply. 1 times y plus 1 is y plus 1. And 3 times x is 3x. Remember, our goal is to solve for y. So we're gonna take 1 and send it over the equal sign. So that's 3x minus 1 is equal to y. And so what that means is that g inverse of x is what y is. And so that means that g inverse of x is equal to 3x minus 1. And so that there we have it. The inverse of g is equal to 3x minus 1. So quick recap, what did we do? The first thing that we do is we set g of x equal to y, all right? And so we have y is equal to x plus 1 over 3. The second thing that we did is we swap x and y. So in place of y, we put x, and in place of x, we put y. So we swap x and y. Then we solve for y. And so we cross multiply. Then we send the 1 over. So we have what y is. And the answer that we have for y is actually g inverse. And so that's what g inverse is. G inverse of x is equal to g inverse of x is equal to 3x minus 1. And that's the answer to this question.